YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I got a really good article here for you guys to read. Someone sent me in the, someone messaged me on my fan page on Facebook. If you want to get a hold of me, don't worry. Just go to my top of my YouTube channel. You click on Facebook, that goes to my fan page, and you can message me through there. Vancouver real estate prices face double-digit drop in 2017 by LePage. By LePage. And it's by Cheryl Chan. The story is by Cheryl Chan. This is probably Royal LePage is probably commenting on it. Vancouver's long-awaited housing correction may be around the corner. Prices are headed in double-digit decline in 2017 as buyers drop out of the market, according to head of Canada's largest real estate services company. The Vancouver, for a double-digit price drop in Vancouver's housing market makes for a nice or nasty surprise for 2017, depending on where you are on the property ladder. But experts say it still won't make the city affordable. So here, listen up, people. Listen up, folks. Royal LePage CEO Phil Soper said prices are headed for double-digit decline in 2017 as buyers drop out of the market. Home prices had got so out of whack that the growth of underlying wages and salaries that there had been a correction, said Soper, and it'll happen in 2017. Royal LePage, a unit of Brookfield Real Estate Services, is preparing a formal forecast for release of January's base data of Brookfield, which also runs in the nation's biggest property valuation company. Those appraisals are used by banks, insurance companies, and mortgage underwriters. So what they do is, they do appraisals and they do comparables. So when you're selling your house, they see how much your neighbor sold or down the street for. So they usually work off comparables, and this is what they're getting back. We're looking at all the trends, Soper said. It's not a double digit. It'll be close to it. The prediction is the latest in the series of reports by real estate groups and financial institutions forecasting the long-awaited correction in Vancouver's overheating market. Last month, the BC Real Estate Association released a report predicting an 8.7% drop in home prices in the region for 2017, average MLS price dropping from $1.03 million to $940,000 next year. In October, a 20% decline in property of detached homes in Vancouver, a 9% drop of attached homes, and 5% decrease for condos. There is no question that the market is getting buffed by headwinds, said the University of BC economist Tom Davidoff. Recent government investors, such as the 15% foreign homers buyers tax and tighter mortgage rules, have cooled the market, but they are not yet fully reflecting prices, Davidoff said. I think the reasonable gas prices are going to end lower in the year than how it started. I hope so. But you know what? In all fairness, I was listening to the talk radio on the way home, and they were talking about the foreign market and then foreign investors. And people were told to stop talking about that. There's nothing to talk about. You're a racist. But if people want to put things on the table and say, hey, let's get this on the table. Let's find out if this is becoming a problem. Let's find out if this is what's causing property. No, you're a racist. Stop talking about this. How dare you talk about foreign investors? Yeah, but people need to take an issue to all, take a look at all the issues that are happening, put them on the table, dissect them, and see what the problem is. So anytime you brought that up, it was considering, it's only 2-3%. Get off yourself. It's not the problem. But no, now they're starting to see it's actually a bigger problem than anyone could ever have imagined. But let's keep going here. But he said cheaper housing prices are not a sure thing. Interest rates, housing supply, foreign demand from China, the exchange rate, as well as the province's new interest-free loan program for qualified first home-time buyers announced last week, all the factors that could affect the real estate prices in Vancouver even tipped the playing field in favor of a price increase. I'm not ruling it out, Davidoff said. Nothing there is a broad range in the statistical distribution of where prices could be in 2017. Some indicate a decline as low as 50%, while others suggest a jump in prices. The mid-range forecast, however, points to the modest correction of the following months and slumping sales in Greater Vancouver market. Typically, there are about 6-month lag between the time demand starts to slow down and prices begin to fall. Soper said from his Toronto office, "Thank goodness that there's going to be a measure of sanity returning to the market," he said. "It'll be healthy for the industry." Well, everyone's leaving the city. I could tell you of like 25 people I know personally that left in the last 6 months. Professionals too. Like one was a chiropractor. I forgot about him, but he left. And I'm like, "Hey, where are you?" On Facebook, he's like, "I moved. I'm living in Kamloops." I'm like, "Oh." So the typical family house has surged past 1.5 million, about 20 times the median household income. 20 times the income! In a region more than 20% more than what it cost in 2015. A 10% decrease would only bring back prices to about what they were in March. We're never gonna be cheap, noted Davidoff. It is a tumultuous world. Canada will remain a prized destination and haven. Haven of what? Parking money? Having a stable democracy with beautiful environment over time is going to be a real strength of Vancouver, he said. In the long run, I'm reluctant to bet against Vancouver, but in the short run, I can see the risks. BC housing critic David By-Essie's no-win situation in Vancouver's housing market. One, he blamed the government inaction. A double-digit price dip will be quite severe for many homeowners who are heavily leveraged themselves to get into the market the last few years. If prices stay where they are, families could afford to live in Vancouver. If they fall, a lot of families will be hurt. I can see a lot of outcome here that has a happy ending for many people. So I'm going to leave a link below for the story. So people need to take in all the factors. That's what the article looks like. A lot of people, you need to take in all the factors and kind of put all the... a lot of people are asking me to forecast what's going on with the market. What's the trend in the housing market? I'm following the housing market, and I only have the data that's available for me to dissect and put it into a formula. And the problem is I'm only getting what's available to us. There's a lot of underlying trends, right? A lot of underlying roots that I can't fathom in my mind. Like, I never thought they would give this down payment thing a week ago. Christy Clark announced this down payment for a house, like this down payment support for a house. I couldn't have ever fathomed of that coming into an equation. Now you got to add this in and formulate it and reformulate it. And then now with so many people coming in, so much immigration coming into Canada in 2017, 300,000 people coming in next year, 300,000 to 450. And you have to also bring in that into effect as people need to live. So how, why, it's the underlying facts, you don't get them all. So when you want to properly trend the market, like I could properly trend the market, let's say in Texas. Because in Texas, they have a lot of laws when buying and foreign investing and a lot of things, right? So if you want to simulate a Texas market, you can look at all the different regions, Austin, San Antonio, places like that, Houston. Look at the comparables in different areas and upper scale, middle scale, lower scale areas, and kind of average out the type, the average home price in Texas. But here in Vancouver, there's so much Mickey Mouse underlying things that people don't get the whole picture. So when I want to forecast the market and say, okay, any home trend forecaster, anybody that's in business, in real estate or anything, could take a step back a year ago and say, this is going to crash, this is over, this is done. It's toast. These people are going to lose. They're going to be underwater. Now they keep adding in these things, right? Bringing in more immigration, first-time buyers loan, this, that. It starts adding up too much. Then you got all these factors that you can't calculate. You can't fathom what's going to happen next. So let's sit back and look what's happened. Let's see what's going to happen next. What the government's going to add to the fire to keep it going for longer. So the flames don't go out. So keep going. This bubble keep going. Anyways, what do you guys think is going to happen? I know it's going to crash. But the question is, when is it going to crash? How much more fuel are they going to give to the fire to keep it going? Comment below. I'd love to read your comments. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Big hug to everyone. Goodbye.